The hills are alive with the sound of engines. It's race day at the Austrian Grand Prix.
Hello everyone, and welcome to a brand new video. And today, well, it's been a while, but I'm here with my first video on the new F1 2021 game. I've managed to get a little bit early, so I thought I'd test the 110% AI and just do it last to first in Max Verstappen's Red Bull while I talk about the game, etc, etc. So yeah, it's been a while since my last upload. Honestly, I just completely uninstalled F1 2020 and I stopped streaming just to give myself a little break because yeah, we got a long season coming up with streaming F1 esports and all that stuff. So yeah, as you can see, then the new game, trying out Austria. This is my first actual race at Austria. I got the game quite early. Most of the esports drivers do, but I've definitely not been testing this track at all. So yeah, I thought I'd just test it, see what the pace of the AI is like, as we're already up to P14, so yeah, not a good sign so far. But quick notes just before we start, I am using a preset setup. I'm not going to be using setups yet. The game isn't even out yet, so yeah, and also as we check that the AI is actually on 110%, you know, just to make sure I'm not cheating, you know how it is. And yeah, as I said, haven't tried the track before, so yeah, I'm hoping I don't storm to the front within, you know, 3/4 of the race. I'm hoping it's actually a challenge, and I guess we'll see. But as you can see there, little mistake already. You can definitely tell I'm not used to this track yet. Fairly similar to the old game, but obviously there are little differences. So on this game, obviously the handling model is a bit different. I think it is an improvement from last year as we corner cut turn 1. Nothing new there. But yeah, the handling model is improved. I feel like the game is naturally just more understeery. I could be saying that because I'm on a preset setup, but yeah, it just feels like, especially some tracks in particular, like Silverstone, feel extremely understeery. I'm sure with time and setup improvements, it'll feel bearable, but right now, just from everyone on time trial using the preset setups and stuff, it does not feel amazing. But I think there is more feeling in the car that you get through the tires and stuff as well, and there's less sliding. I think you can still use first gear some places, but there's generally less sliding through corners, I think, or at least in my experience, it's lost me time when I've tried to, you know, properly drift and rotate the car. So yeah, slow improvements, I think. Obviously, I'm not a sim racing expert, so I'm not sure what the car is exactly supposed to feel like, but yeah, I'm certain it has improved. And another thing I found is when you lose the car, it's really hard to correct it. Most of the time, I've just been spinning off when I make a big mistake. So yeah, slightly more unforgiving on this game when you make a mistake. So you really got to be careful, which I think another good thing as well. So yeah, talking about the AI then, as someone who barely raced the AI on the last game, I'm not even sure how they performed last game, but this year they seem quite strong actually, and more racy, which we'll see throughout the race. I'm not sure if they actually did improve the AI. I could just be chatting rubbish right now, but it feels like it for sure. The pace is strong. I'm not just breezing past. I am in a Red Bull, which I believe right now has the pace of like the 2020 car, so Mercedes is still much quicker, I think. Yeah, no, I'm going to be honest, I have no idea. I could be wrong. Let me off, guys. I don't read all the notes, okay? I just play the game. But yeah, we're coming up to the back of Carlos Sainz now. We're going to launch one up the inside, obviously. Into turn 3, get the car stopped, make the apex, and that's a move done up into P11, lap 4 of 18. If you look on the mini-map, the two Mercedes and Perez breaking away a little bit, so going to be interesting to see if... Oh, that's Leclerc gone. And that's quite funny actually. I'm not sure if it was an incident or he just spun round, but that definitely wasn't in the old game. So yeah, I think a lot more mistakes from the AI. I've seen that happen in another race I did as well. So yeah, that's Leclerc gone round, so yeah, that's interesting to see. And Gasly sends one up the inside of Alonso. Oh, this is brilliant racing. But he backs out of that one. But Yeah, I can't remember this happening on the old game, so an improvement as we go for a move on Gasly now. We're going to go round the outside, and normally he would just completely back off, but this time not so much, and we have to stay off the apex. So another improvement there. So yeah, as I said, the AI definitely more racy. They don't just get out of your way completely, I think, which is quite good. And now we're on the back of Alonso, get a better exit, using up our overtake button and the DRS. Pull along the outside into turn 4. As you can see, Alonso coming back a little bit. We're going to be side by side through turn 4. We hang it round the outside, get a slightly better exit, but he's still there slightly. We could have shut the door on him, but we leave him the space and we get the move done. So yeah, Alonso trying to fight back, but we're having none of it, and we're through onto Stroll. But yeah, as you can see, we have no option to change fuel mixture, so that's another thing. Standard the whole race, so that's just one less thing to worry about management wise. But you still have your overtake bar, obviously, and I think you have more, as we almost ruin our race right there. And now Alonso's right on the back of us again. But yeah, you have a lot more overtake, I think, or the battery just doesn't drain as quick, or it regains faster. I don't know, but I always feel like I have a lot of ERS. But yeah, as you can see, Alonso closer to us than we are to Stroll. This AI is definitely not slow by any means, but now we're going to go for the move on Stroll. He has no DRS in the car ahead. Pretty simple move to the outside once again, and we get that move done. And we're up into P7 on lap 6, so yeah, now we have a gap ahead of us to Ricciardo, 2.1. Now let's actually test our pace. We've had a few laps to get used to the track, and let's see if we can close down at so we have not gained a single bit of time at all. Ricciardo has stayed at the same gap, and that's pretty crazy. Yeah, I mean, what can I say? I think I'm just washed up. AI better than me. 110% AI finally quick, maybe. But yeah, we're coming for our pit stop now, taking the nice and clean line. So yeah, as you can see there, we give it a few laps. We didn't catch up that much. Once again, you know, preset, default setup, blah blah, not used to the track. I'm sure as time goes on and everyone gets quicker, the 110% AI will be easier to beat. But right now, I cannot just jump on and beat them. You know, I'm staying around the same gap, so yeah, that's promising at least. And oh yeah, we got a 3-second penalty, but we won't talk about that. That'll be briefly cut out of the video. So yeah, coming back on track now. 1.1 second gap to Norris. Goes to the overtake on Schumacher actually, and I don't know if this always happens, but the AI just seem to, when they're battling each other, they seem to lose a lot more time. It seems less robotic. I think Norris forced Schumacher a bit wide there, if I'm seeing that correctly, as we dive up the inside of Mick there, get that move done. Don't want to be stuck behind the Haas for a whole lap, and now we're on the back of Norris. But yeah, that was interesting, and I've seen that quite a few times where they're going side by side, the AI, and they just seem to lose a lot of time. Mick Schumacher just went onto the, I think he went onto the curb a little bit, and that allowed me to catch up quite a bit. So yeah, that's good to see. You know, more realistic, that when you know, they're actually losing time going side by side, and they're not just robotic overtakes. I'm not sure. Someone let me know if that happened on the last game as well. I cannot remember that happening. Maybe that's because I pretty much never raced against the AI. So, yeah, moving on to lap 10 then. We have jumped Ricciardo, which is interesting actually. Nice powerful undercut there. As we once again almost completely lose the car. Our brake bias a little bit too far towards the rear there, as you can see on 53. Helps get that rotation, but yeah, you don't want to overdo it, otherwise you can end up spinning out. But yeah, coming out of turn 4 then, as you can see, Ricciardo tries to sneak one cheekily up the inside. We were not expecting that. That McLaren has got some straight line speed, as we're getting stuck behind Russell right now, who's quite...
Are you okay? That was a big one.
So as we swiftly navigate through Russell, we now are looking forward on to Lando Norris. Now McLarens have some very good pace in this game, you know, as they do in real life. And as you can see, Perez 3 seconds up the road. So yeah, that's our teammate. We at least have to beat him, otherwise, yeah, that's a fail. As yeah, we go for the move on Lando now, using our ERS, DRS. We still don't gain that much. Well, we do, but you know, we're only side by side, going into the corner, braking on the curb, down to third gear. We've almost lost the car once again. Should not have been on 53 brake by us there. And now Norris rockets past me. And there's some good racing, you know. We're not just absolutely destroying the AI. We think about going for a move, but we think better of it. We're not trying to launch dive bomb after dive bomb. So yeah, we've been mugged off by a computer. But honestly, I'm enjoying it actually. I'm liking it. It's not super easy to just fly by the AI. They actually point up some kind of fight. As we just seen from Norris and Ricciardo sending one up the inside when I wasn't expecting it. So yeah, maybe we can actually have a fight with Norris to the end of the race. If my pace is anything to go by, then we're definitely not catching up to Perez. But hopefully we don't just pass Norris and then get a comfortable gap to him. Hopefully he actually puts us under pressure. So yeah, we're going to go for the move once again, sending it to the outside using all of our battery and the DRS, braking on the curb. This time not completely losing the rear end. We got our move done. And unfortunately loses quite a lot of time on the exit there. I'm not sure if we made contact, but yeah, as you will see, he catches up very quickly. And the gap now to Perez, 3.4. So at this point I was thinking, because, well, I had, you know, no hindsight of how fast the AI actually were. I was just driving along. I thought, let's see how much I can catch up to Perez. Lap 12 of 16 is still very easily possible. Well, I was very wrong. The gap has stayed the same, if not increased, to Perez. And look who's right behind me, is Mr. Lando Norris, going for the move. And honestly, I'm loving this. We're going to have to go defensive once again. Going into turn 3, we defend the inside. Lando goes to the outside. We managed to hold on to the position. And unfortunately, I think when the AI come out of that corner, they're either just very slow or it's because I made them go around the outside. But unfortunately, they don't get a better exit than me going on to the next straight and try and get, you know, some sort of switchback. Or maybe it's just a one-off. But yeah, good to see Lando attacking us there. I honestly thought going into this that I would probably win or, you know, be right with the leaders. So yeah, this is quite interesting, but actually I'm enjoying it. We have a gap to Lando now, but you will see very quickly how quick that gap comes down as we mess up the final corner, get another penalty. Just ignore the penalties. I'm more concerned about the AI's pace rather than my own awful driving. So yeah, going into turn 1, as you can see, Lando right behind me, and Ricciardo as well, and I think that's also Stroll in that train. So yeah, very good pace by AI. This time Norris a lot closer. We defend the inside. We shut the door a little bit, and Lando backs out and coming onto the straight. As you can see, once again, doesn't get the best of exits, and yeah, I think, well, we're just about going to be ahead going into turn 4. That straight line speed from the McLaren is ridiculous. But yeah, at the moment we have no answer. The McLarens are just rapid right now compared to us as we almost lose the car once again. Come on, I'm still getting used to the game, guys. Preset, you know, I'm just thinking of more excuses, you know. But yeah, honestly, I'm enjoying it. The gap from Perez has gone from like 3 seconds to 4.6, so not what I thought was going to happen, that's for sure. But yeah, we have a little short break until the next attack, if Norris is close to us going into turn 3. And as you can see in the top left, Bottas is 6.4 ahead of us on hard tyres, and I think that gap has stayed the same, if not increased. So we're slower than Bottas on hard tyres. I'm supposed to be an esports driver. What's going on? But anyway, Norris doesn't get as close on this straight. We defend the inside anyway, just in case. Come back onto the racing line into turn 3, and yeah, we maintain our position once more. But as you can see, we use a little bit of VRS here because Norris rockets off this straight. Once again, defend the inside. He tries to send one around the outside, but obviously that was never going to work out. The one thing I would like to see one day, I don't know if they can ever make it happen, is AI just going for a little bit more aggressive moves. But thinking about it then, if that started happening and you just getting dive bombed all the time, that wouldn't go down well with Codemasters, so maybe not. But yeah, it seems like they only go for really simple overtakes down the inside or something if they're super close. That's pretty much it. So as long as I, defend the inside to Norris, then I'll stay ahead most of the time. But I'm not complaining. I've had more fun in this race than I did, throughout 2020. So against AI. So yeah, I think definitely an improvement. And unfortunately, Norris has dropped all the way back behind as we once again almost spin. Ignore that. And yeah, we're going to cross the line in our first ever Austria race against the AI on the new game in P4, well on track. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that one because I actually did. The AI surprised me. It would be quite awkward if they were the exact same behavior-wise as they were on 2020 and I just didn't notice. But yeah, they felt okay to race against. And to answer my own question, how fast is the AI, or the 110% AI? I would say very fast, but they look faster because of my inexperience on the game and setup. So yeah, I think if I was to do this again right at the end of the game cycle, it would be a very different story, obviously. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed my first ever video on the new game. Expect a lot more videos. Leave a comment what type of stuff you'd like to see. I am planning on doing a hot lap plus setup series on every track in the game. So yeah, stay tuned for that. And I'll also be streaming pretty much every day. Me just grinding the game, getting used to it. Maybe doing open lobbies, time trial, etc. And co-op career mode. That's something I definitely want to do as well. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.